Whoa, what's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's get in it. Let's dig deep. Donovan Mitchell responded back to your boy King James. Oh, I loved it. Because everyone was waiting for his response. They were like, what he gonna say? What's he gonna do? Now the game, they tried to not focus too much on it, on what was gonna happen between the two when they were out on the court and everything else. Rudy and LeBron never had a conversation. They never really spoke. He gave a fist bump. That was about it. But Donovan Mitchell was more of a, hey, I'm used to this, screw him type of mentality. But his exact words to you people who are the fans and, people such as myself is this. He said, I don't want to be rude, but I really don't care. People have been talking S about me for a while. We're not doing this to seek the approval of James or LeBron James, but he said him. We're not doing this to seek the approval of LeBron James, which is true. They're not. Whether I'm picked last or first, I'm here. You know, and that's echoes a lot of growth, but it just another shadowing of the disrespect most of the elders have for the younger people. And sometimes you forget to put that arm around them and say, let me talk to you for a minute. You don't have to be lectury, but sometimes you don't try to listen when they speak. And that's a very important thing because they're growing up in a time you didn't grow up in. You're witnessing it. They have to grow up in it. And when you're growing up in something that you don't understand, because you don't have to, they have to. They have to grow up in this and figure it out. This is one of the worst times to grow up in this country than probably since the 1920s, 30s, and 40s. Economically, socially, there are so many homeless, starving for food, medical. People can't afford to go to the doctor. You've lost great uncles, great grandparents who didn't have a lot of money to go to the hospital. And if they did go, the hospital tried to just make them comfortable on their way out. So you're dealing with a situation where Donovan Mitchell's growing up in a world where playing basketball, and he's a basketball player. He's a young basketball player who became a star in his first season. He was never chosen to be that. He was not highly sought after when he was drafted. Utah saw the potential in him, but no one else really was gushing about Donovan Mitchell when he was drafted. there have been a lot lesser talent promoted and talked about and raved in his draft class than him. And all he does is play basketball. He didn't get in any trouble. He's dating Chris Lighty's daughter. He's not running around here in scandals. So I'm trying to figure out, what has he done that's so wrong? And he got drafted in 2017. What is this guy's issue, or what has he done? He's actually is a part of a resurgence of basketball. The 2017 NBA draft is one of those drafts, like I said, that comes around in 10 years when you have that much talent in one round. He was the 13th pick. The Pistons thought Luke Kennard was a better fit than Donovan Mitchell and Bam. I heard more about John Collins from Wake Forest than I heard about Donovan Mitchell, who came out of Louisville. Now, Louisville underachieved as a team, but they was always highly ranked. Now, Dennis Smith Jr. was looked at as New York's savior. Frank, who came from France, everybody was raving mad that New York Knicks did not draft Dennis Smith Jr. De'Aaron Fox was the talk, Josh Jackson and Tatum. And the person that got the most press out of everybody was Lonzo Ball, who was taken by the Lakers with the second pick in the draft after Markelle Fultz went first. Now, after all these picks and players, and people that went to different positions, you looked at all of these guys together and you start seeing to yourself, man, this draft was really loaded. If you think about all the players that came out, there are players that came out way down the list. Kyle Kuzma was selected and traded to the Lakers. Brooklyn had drafted him, and the Lakers traded for him. And we all know why. But these young kids came in through the roughest time ever. But these are ball players. Donovan Mitchell is a ball player. That's it. He's done nothing wrong. So for it to be okay for people in the media to protect certain players and bash the young ones when they're doing nothing but speaking out against injustice, use logic. If Donovan Mitchell was saying something that was incorrect or out of line, you should have pulled him to the side and said, or talked him off and said, this is how you would handle that. But I understand your frustrations. Let me talk to you about how this game really works. You know, don't just crush them and don't understand what the young people are doing. It's like in the music industry, people are quick to destroy the new era of hip hop or what they call the things now. But you got to look at your life. When you was young and listening to what you was listening to, your parents didn't listen to it 9 times out of 10. They thought of it as noise, junk, crap. Where's it going to be in 2 years? This is timeless. Listen to this. And they playing Luther. They were playing Patti LaBelle. They was listening to Sade. Listening to Al Green. Now, they started to expand. But they come from that. All of that music is in you. And you yearn for it to improve or go when someone's creating something different. It's okay. It just might not be for you. Like some of this music is too young for me to deal with it. But if the young people follow it, that's their thing. Now you see all of these kids right now, they running around with their pants legs cut. Right? They got the holes in the front of their pants or whatever, and it's all floppy. That was out in the 80s. I'm serious. That was like early 90s, like 89, 90. Matter of fact, if you think I'm joking, go watch Salt and Pepper's video to Shake Your Thing. Watch the Salt and Pepper video Shake Your Thing. And watch what they're wearing. Look at what they're wearing. And ask yourself right now, is that not what people are wearing today? Time is a circle. It's a loop. But it works in a figure 8. And you know how the number 8 goes, the figure 8? It's like a racing track. It just keeps going around. It bends, it turns, and it keeps going around. So it's not a complete circle. It bends a little. It goes in that direction, but it always comes back to the same point and goes all the way again. In a figure 8. Things come back around. After going in so many different directions, it comes back around to the same type of thing. Just a little bit to the side. So to sit there and boast and brag and laugh at Donovan Mitchell for doing basically what every other person's human instinct is, to me, it's hypocritical. But then again, we're talking about LeBron James and Shaq and people that are in that bubble, that's in that circle. This new entertainment, or how most of these veterans feel because they didn't get paid what they should have been paid. Charles Barkley, all these guys, they dump on the younger talent mostly because they knew if they were in this situation, they would have been paid multi-millions of dollars more, and they were better players. Shaquille O'Neal was not, but Charles Barkley definitely was. And at this point, he knew he could totally dominate in this era. The way the game is played now, and if he was him, they wouldn't be able to stop Charles at all. And so is everyone else. See, the thing about it is, Guys were bigger. They were talking about we're more athletic now. You're right. You got more guys who are athletic, tall, slender, big guys who like 7 feet who could move left to right quick. But that doesn't mean you understand the game. They had guys who was big like Ron Tarpley, Antoine Carr, who were like big guys out there. Didn't look like they had a lot of mobility, but they were very skilled and they knew how to score. Cliff Levingston, those guys who could score down in the box. They didn't have your typical now basketball body of muscles everywhere. They knew how to score. Wayman Tisdale, he was great at what he did. You had a lot of these guys who were power forwards, and they didn't spend their lives in a gym 24/7. They didn't have nutritionists. They didn't have all of these things to keep them athletically, fit. They had an average body, but their stamina and strength was 10 times what these players have today. These players are fatigued after 1 or 2 quarters. These guys can go out drinking and partying all night with women and come out and play a basketball game for 60 minutes with just probably one timeout. They were more durable. Different time of era. But neither side should disrespect the other. I understand that this game can't be compared. They only do it to sell television series and shows so you can watch and stay glued and attached. But the situation never changes. The problem is people are stuck in their own ways. Completely stuck in their own way. They want something for nothing. It's been like that for a long period of time. People always want something for nothing. Can I get something for nothing? Can I borrow $1? Please, sir. These acts, these notions, have been rearing their ugly heads for a long period of time. Now, if you will excuse me, I got to go take care of something. There's a lot going on that you guys are not aware of. But I'll tell you eventually. So, anyway, I'm out. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page, hit that notification bell. Carcino for Life is my Patreon. You want to donate to the page? Carcino's my name on the Cash App. I'm out of here. God bless.